The wood and plastic fusion table. When craftsmanship meets environmental consciousness, if there's one word to describe this piece, it's bold. Bold in its design, bold in its message, and bold in how it dares to break the rules of what traditional wood art is supposed to be. At first glance, your eyes are drawn to the stunning contrast between the earthy, natural wood and the burst of vibrant plastic colors embedded in the tabletop. These aren't just random colors. They're recycled bottle caps, hundreds of them. Each cap, a discarded item once destined for landfills or oceans, now reborn as part of a visual masterpiece. It's a genius juxtaposition. Nature and waste, harmonized in one surface. The tabletop itself retains the organic form of a tree slice, its rings, grain, and edges still raw and real. But instead of simply preserving nature's beauty, the artist injects a layer of provocation. In the very heart of this wooden canvas, a tree root expands outward, its shape preserved in glossy resin, surrounded by a swirling sea of caps. It's almost poetic. The tree's life is frozen in time, while the colorful plastics represent the artificial world encroaching upon it. But here's the kicker. It doesn't feel forced. It doesn't scream, "I'm recycled," like a gimmick. It feels intentional, artistic, and oddly beautiful. From a craftsmanship standpoint, this is a technically challenging piece. Combining wood and resin is already complex, but embedding hundreds of uneven plastic caps, each with its own shape, size, and texture, requires precision, patience, and creative vision. The result is a surface that's smooth to the touch, but alive with color and texture, a blend of the rustic and the modern. Functionally, this table works. It stands firm on a sculpted solid wooden base that mimics natural tree roots. Strong, grounded, and earthy. It's not just a showpiece. It's a conversation starter. The kind of table you'd expect to see in a creative studio, a modern cafe, or even an eco-conscious design showroom. Wherever it goes, it makes a statement. Now let's talk message. This isn't just a table. It's a reflection of the world we live in. The beautiful wood reminds us of nature's timeless elegance. The bottle caps. They remind us of our modern habits, our convenience, our excess, and our responsibility. But rather than pointing fingers, the artist offers a solution. Transformation. Instead of trash, create. Instead of waste, repurpose. Instead of hiding our damage, integrate it into something meaningful. It's refreshing to see art that's not just about aesthetics, but about awakening. This table doesn't whisper, it speaks loudly. It says, we can do better. We must do better. And yes, we can still make it beautiful. In the age of climate change and consumer waste, this piece feels urgent, relevant, and absolutely inspiring. To art lovers, it's visually stunning. To craftsmen, it's a technical triumph. To environmentalists, it's a beacon of hope. To everyday people, it's a reminder that beauty and responsibility can go hand in hand. Ultimately, what makes this piece truly brilliant is its fusion of heart, message, and mastery. It's a table, yes, but it's also a challenge to rethink what we throw away, to value what we often overlook, and to never underestimate the power of creativity to make change. So, next time you twist off a bottle cap, think about this table. Think about the hands that turn waste into wonder. Think about the roots of a tree still whispering beneath the resin. And most of all, think about what you can do with what the world has discarded. Because art like this doesn't just decorate a room. It transforms the way we see the world. This wooden vase is a beautiful blend of elegance, geometry, and raw natural charm, crafted with such precision that it feels both ancient and futuristic at the same time. At first glance, you're struck by the perfect balance between form and detail. The silhouette is classic, a soft curve in neck that blooms gently into a wide mouth and tapers into a rounded base. It's a shape that speaks to tradition, evoking the feel of ceremonial vases from ancient civilizations. But what makes this piece stand out is how modern design elements are seamlessly woven into its structure. The artist introduces bold, circular inlays around the body, using what appear to be different tones of wood or possibly resin. These dark circles create a rhythmic pattern, playful yet sophisticated. The contrast they bring to the lighter and richer wood grains of the vase body creates depth and movement, making the piece feel alive. Look closer, and you'll notice the horizontal band around the neck, a carefully crafted detail made with alternating tones. It's subtle but powerful. This band acts almost like a necklace, giving the vase a regal personality, as if it's wearing a crown. The choice of lighter wood at the mouth and base creates a natural gradient that draws the eye up and down in an effortless visual flow. The craftsmanship here is truly impeccable. The wood is polished to a smooth, glassy finish that enhances the natural patterns within each grain. You can feel the artist's respect for the material. Rather than overpowering the wood with paint or harsh modification, the design honors it, celebrating the warm tones, the swirls, and the natural imperfections that make each piece of timber unique. The combination of joinery, inlay, and turning technique speaks to a high level of skill. This isn't just wood shaping. It's precision woodworking at its best. Every curve is intentional. Every transition in color or form feels deliberate. The result is a sculpture that is both functional and artistic. What's especially compelling about this vase is that it doesn't just sit in space, it commands it. It invites you to rotate it, study it from every angle, and trace the seamless transitions between the design layers. It belongs equally on a modern minimalist shelf or a rustic wooden table, making it a perfect harmony of past and present. In a world flooded with synthetic decor and mass production, this wooden vase stands as a bold statement. That timeless beauty comes from craftsmanship, patience, and honoring nature's raw materials. It reminds us that wood, in the right hands, can become more than just furniture. It becomes art. This is not merely a decorative object. It's a celebration of wood, of form, of design thinking. And most importantly, it's a reflection of the artist's soul, etched carefully into every curve, every polish, and every contrasting circle. This wooden vase is a striking piece of craftsmanship that combines symbolic design with refined woodworking skill. At first glance, the eye is immediately drawn to the prominent star motif, perfectly embedded into the front of the vase. The star is not merely painted or printed. It is inlaid into the surface, showing expert precision and a clear understanding of visual impact. The contrast between the golden tones of the star and the deep reddish-brown hue of the vase body creates a bold and patriotic aesthetic. The body of the vase is gently rounded, forming a classic, almost amphora-like silhouette. It tapers smoothly into a tall, cylindrical neck, giving the form both balance and grace. This structure gives the piece a sense of verticality and presence. It feels as though it could serve as a ceremonial object, something placed in the center of a room to inspire, rather than simply decorate. The most powerful element of this vase is its symbolism. The five-pointed star is universally recognized, and in the context of this design, it evokes strength, identity, and national pride. Whether inspired by a flag, a cultural emblem, or a deeper personal story, the star grounds the vase in something more than just aesthetics. It speaks to belonging and purpose. What elevates this work even more is the way the wood itself has been treated. The surface has a subtle sheen, not overly glossy, which allows the natural grains and textures to breathe. You can see how the artist selected wood that would complement the star's shape, allowing the curves of the grain to flow around it like a frame. The center of the star appears to incorporate a knotted grain pattern, adding an organic focal point right at its heart, almost like an eye staring back at the viewer. The joinery and finishing are exceptional. There are no visible seams where the star inlay meets the body. Everything is flush and harmonious. This shows an experienced hand, someone who knows how to manipulate materials with both technical and artistic understanding. The vase feels solid, well-balanced, and carefully composed. In terms of color, the reddish body of the vase suggests a warm, exotic wood, perhaps paddock or rosewood, while the star might be made from a lighter species like pine, maple, or yellow heart. The color contrast is more than decorative. It creates a visual rhythm that draws the viewer in and keeps them engaged. Placed against the backdrop of greenery, the vase comes alive. The earthy tones harmonize with nature, yet the star pushes forward with its radiant energy. It's a piece that speaks to unity, craftsmanship, and the timeless beauty of wood as a storytelling medium. In conclusion, this wooden vase is more than an object. It is a symbol, a message, and a celebration of design and identity. With its flawless finish, symbolic depth, and elegant proportions, it stands as a powerful example of how traditional materials can be transformed into meaningful art. This wooden vase is a shining example of minimalist elegance, where form, material, and finish come together in perfect harmony. At first glance, the piece stands out not because of intricate detail or vivid decoration, but because of its quiet confidence. The shape is classic yet timeless, a gentle teardrop form that gradually narrows to a softly flared rim. Its proportions are balanced, conveying a sense of calm and poise that is rare in decorative art. One of the most captivating aspects of this piece is the natural wood grain. The artist has allowed the inherent beauty of the wood to take center stage. The swirling patterns, the interplay of golden and amber tones, and the occasional streaks of darker brown give the vase a visual texture that feels both spontaneous and eternal. No artificial color is needed here. The wood speaks for itself. The surface has been polished to a high gloss, creating a mirror-like sheen that reflects light beautifully. This glossy finish not only enhances the visual appeal, but also brings out the depth of the wood grain, giving it an almost three-dimensional quality. The reflections add movement to the surface, making the piece feel alive and dynamic, especially under changing lighting conditions. The craftsmanship is evident in every curve and transition. The vase has no sharp angles or abrupt lines. Instead, it flows from base to neck in a single graceful motion, as though it were shaped by nature rather than by tools. This sense of organic form is what lends the vase such universal appeal. It could fit just as comfortably in a rustic setting as in a modern, minimalist home. One subtle but intriguing detail is the darker patch of grain near the center. This natural imperfection has not been hidden but celebrated. It adds character and uniqueness to the piece, reminding the viewer that this object is a product of both nature and human hands. It turns the vase into a story, a record of the tree's life, preserved and honored through craftsmanship. What also makes this piece special is its functionality. Though undeniably beautiful, it could serve as a real vessel, perhaps for dried flowers, thin branches, or as a standalone centerpiece. Its sturdy base ensures stability, while the flared opening offers just enough space to hold arrangements without overwhelming them. In summary, this wooden vase is a quiet masterpiece. It showcases the artist's restraint, their understanding of material, and their respect for natural beauty. It does not demand attention through loud design, but earns it through grace, warmth, and timeless form. With its polished finish, natural wood tones, and flowing shape, it becomes more than a decorative object. It becomes a reflection of nature's elegance, captured in wood and shaped by human hands.